All right. I think we're live. We are live. I think. Feel free. Well, you can feel free to try and comment. Maybe we might see it. Who knows? We are live in Edinburgh, Scotland. Hey, everybody. It's Dave. It's Whiskey Wednesday. It's not 5 p.m. Here in Scotland. We are at Ancient Robot Games, Edinburgh, Scotland. I'm here with Dougal. So excited to be here. Be sure to maybe comment. Maybe you can hear us speaking right now. Hopefully, we've also got, of course, some background noise because there's a lot of people having fun playing games right now. Because guess what? Yeah, I know. Oh. This makes me sick just thinking about it. But we're going to be having fun, having some conversation about games, about game stores. A little bit later today, I'm going to be giving a little bit of an update on Luthier as well as Gen Con 2, so keep tuning in as well. But first, we're going to get to know a little bit more about Dougal as well as the game store we're in right now. So, Dougal, how you doing?
Very good. Way too hot. It is unusually sunny in Scotland. Everyone comes here with the idea it's going to be raining all the time, and for some reason, at the moment, it is way
well, you happen to be like right in the sun.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It is great.
We probably should have been in different positions, right?
Perfect.
So it is funny because normally when I do Whiskey Wednesday, it is around 5 p.m. my time back in the States, and around 11 p.m. here in Scotland. And of course, right now it is. It doesn't feel like it, but it's 6 o'clock right now. And hey, everybody back in the States, it's like lunchtime, right? It's noon right now. So the tables are a little turned tonight. But again, hello, everybody. And like I said, if you're just tuning in, we are here in Edinburgh, Scotland. We are at Ancient Robot Games. So we're at a game store here in Edinburgh. Really excited we're meeting with Dougal here. Excited to learn a little bit more about this game store. So maybe Dougal, just give us maybe a little bit of background on you, like you.
Shop only a couple of years ago here in Edinburgh, but beforehand I worked in the background of game design. I edited rule books. I worked for first of all started with playtesting a whole bunch of stuff, and then I did a lot more during the pandemic when I actually had time to, and that led me further and further into games as a whole. I've always loved games since I was a kid, mainly computer games, to be honest. And then I slowly kind of moved into board games and saw the kind of breadth of experiences that could be there with board games. And I think the best thing about it was suddenly a social experience. And there's lots of social things to do in the UK, but it's quite hard to find one that isn't in a pub. It is great to go to a pub. Do not get me wrong, particularly if you come to Scotland, go and check out other pubs. It's great. But it's really nice to be doing something outside of that. And having done a whole bunch of stuff in the back end of game design and knowing a bunch of people and going to conventions and showing off games and doing all of that, I realized that the area which I lived in didn't really have a game shop that was easy to get to or open and available. And particularly with how the industry has gone, it's a much more accessible hobby than it ever used to be. It used to be you need tiny goblins fighting other tiny goblins, and if you didn't like that, there probably wasn't a game for you unless it was Monopoly where you wanted an argument with your family.
Totally.
So now I think there's so many games about growing plants to cats fighting each other to still big goblins fighting other goblins. Like, there is everything in the industry, so it's much more friendly and accessible than it ever has been. And I wanted a place that felt like that as well. So we have something relatively unusual, weirdly enough, that in game stores, which is big windows. It does make a difference getting some natural light into a game store. And also a huge range of games. I have the wonderful benefit of being someone who is really, really into the industry. So because of that, I don't have to get in games into the shop that I don't think are good. So there's a huge range of games we have here, everything from like simple, very, very straightforward stuff all the way around to things that will take you an entire weekend to play. But I don't have to have in anything that I feel bad about selling. So the place is filled with all games that I personally have either played or gone in depth into the rules in to see that it has something available that someone will enjoy. And we have a big board games library here because of that as well.
That's cool.
I personally love simple and elegant games. So when a game is like peeled back to its most straightforward possible rules, but it is the purest experience of that thing. So something like I don't know if you know, but Cockroach Poker, which is your purest form of bluffing game. I love High Society, your purest form of bidding game. But I love the range of games. So for me, yes, those are fantastic and easy to bring out with anyone, which we do a lot when I'm playing with new people. But also the big, beefy, area control, 4X style games that will take you 4 to 6 hours. I'm a big fan of Cthulhu Wars and some of the old Fantasy Flight things. Not so many of the newer ones, but things like Forbidden Stars was really great. And anything new. My partner hates me, but not just generally.
Just in general.
Hates me. But no, because I will always bring home a new game to play, and I want to play the new game because it's new and unique.
Of course.
And my partner's just learned the rules from previous game. It's like, play that game I now love. Like, no, but I want to play a new one. So we do play some over and over again, which is things like Sea Salt and Paper and Hanama Koji that we're really big fans of. But I will always be bringing back something new, something unique.
I love it. I love it.
My favorite games are the different than anything I've seen before.
I love it. Well, as you first started, when you said, I love the simple rules, just nailed down to the essence. I was about to walk out because that's unfortunately not exactly what we do here. But then you started getting a little bit more in the 4 to 6 hour. Like, okay, good. That's something more. That's good. I love it. When I can see it, and in a little bit, we're going to get a little tour from you, and I think we can see that because I can see that your central table has some of those games you were just talking about. Some of those smaller, 4 games, which is fun. But then you've got some of those bigger games, those long.
We're just waving at nothing. There's no actual games in here. This is all.
There's a green screen behind us. There's like a nice bright sunlight spotlight on you to represent the sunlight. Exactly. That's cool. That's funny. Okay, so you talked a little bit about how you wanted to see, you living in this area, wanted to see this come to be. Can you talk a little bit more about how this can be, like how long has Ancient Robot Games been around? How this came to be? How long has it been in this space? And again, we'll get to see this in a little bit.
Sure. So it's been here just over 2 years. So still pretty fresh. But how it came to be was basically, I worked behind the scenes with lots of games, and I never thought about opening a game shop. But a wonderful person called Adam owns a bookstore just down the road from here, and I went to work there with the idea that I would bring board game nights to the bookshop. And we started doing board game nights there every couple of weeks, and immediately they were packed up with 40 people at a time. And this space was empty for 4 years.
Really?
Completely nothing in this space at all. And one day I remember after doing this and filling Adam's back room that should have been filled with books with all of my board games so I didn't have to lug them home every week. I then went, well, maybe I could do a board game shop here. That would be really cool. And there was a bunch of people who I knew, like Morgan Manager, who's amazing, who used to work in another board game shop. And I talked to him and I was like, what if we did this? That would be great. And then as I always say with anyone who has a dream of something to do, your best bet is to close your eyes and run at it. So I did. I closed my eyes and ran at it. And about 6 months later, the shop was open. And all of those 40 people that would come back again and again, which were different people every time for those 40 people, were now a core group of 100 to a couple of hundred people who knew the place was going to exist anyway. So we had kind of a built-up play group already for it. And we opened the shop and it's only got bigger and bigger. It was one of those things of being very scared that my niche hobby is something that only I like, even though it's getting more accessible, more friendly, and more people can come into it. maybe they wouldn't. And then suddenly the shop was filled with people, and it has been basically since day one.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Having lots of events to kind of show off stuff has been a really big thing for us as well, with board game nights and RPG nights and things like that. And they are full every week and have been ever since we opened.
Cool. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And then what about, so you said the bookstore, you were having those, obviously the area was hungry for it. What's the scene like in Edinburgh in general, or Scotland in general? I know there's Tabletop Scotland. I've been there. I love Tabletop Scotland as a smaller con, bigger in this area, but smaller in general. But what's the scene like in Edinburgh in terms of games in general?
Yeah, it's a really weird one because it is dependent on the place in Scotland. In the same way as there's so many Scottish dialects in different places, there are so many different focuses when it comes to games. There's a whole bunch of, for in Edinburgh, for example, Magic the Gathering and things like that are obviously big all the way around the world. Whereas things like even the other TCGs like Lorcana and Yu-Gi-Oh are just not very big here. You go to Glasgow, which is only an hour away on the train, and Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and things are huge over there, and Magic the Gathering is so big. So
no wonder I love Edinburgh so much.
Right. Board game designers more than anything else. There's a whole bunch of things like Deep Regrets, which you may or may not know. Tactics Games are here based in Edinburgh. The Old King's Crown guys from Eerie Idle Games are also here in Edinburgh. And there's a whole bunch of design things happening around board games and RPGs as well in this space. As a whole, it seems to be, I mean, Edinburgh is a very tourist-focused town. So there's a lot of smaller two-player games or small box games that go really well here in Edinburgh.
Interesting.
Because there's a lot of people coming through going, I got to go somewhere else. I need to look at small things. But there is a big core of people who are like, hey, that giant box that's sitting there behind you, what's in that? And I want it immediately. So we've noticed everyone play everything, basically, in Edinburgh. There's a huge range of different things that people are focused on, which is great for me because I love all of the things. So it means there's not just that one thing that I should point people towards because they know it, but there's so many different unique people playing different unique games. And I'm always, almost every day, someone comes and goes, hey, have you got this? And I'm like, no, but I will now. So now I get a new game that I either have never heard of or didn't manage to get in before. So there's always something new in Edinburgh and in the board gaming scene in Scotland as a whole. But with Tabletop Scotland being a bigger thing and game design in general being a bigger thing.
Now in Edinburgh, like it used to be up in Perth, right? And so now it's moved down.
So unfortunately, they decided that Perth needed to have another multi-story car park, and they shut down where the Dewar Centre was, which is where it was.
Oh, I didn't know that's why.
Yeah, that's why they moved it to. So they moved it through to Edinburgh, but now we've had more people come in, not just from Scotland, but from England, and also be able to fly in to Edinburgh to actually go to Tabletop Scotland. So it's got better and better with Tabletop Scotland every year. So it's great.
Shout out to David Wright, who was supposed to be here tonight. David Wright,
are you playing at?
You were supposed to. You're standing us up. Yeah, that's right. If you're watching this afterwards, you owe me a pint now, at least, or a dram or something. Dougal too. Two. Right? You're in it for it, David. Anyway, so speaking of like Scotland and the city, the games, are you seeing as a store owner? Are you seeing certain things over the last 6 to 12 months, like any trends, like customers coming in, buying certain things that you are starting to think about changing or basically certain things people are buying or certain things people are doing that you wouldn't have seen maybe a year ago?
Not so much a year ago, but I think the beautiful games are getting more beautiful every single year. There are more and more pretty things coming off. And that is drawing more and more people to try out games that they wouldn't have before. When a box is pretty, from a retail side, a box is pretty, that's fantastic. It's wonderful to jump into something that you mechanically have no idea about. You see that art on the top and you're like, oh, that's right. So I think more party games with that side of stuff as well. TikTok has been a massive thing, particularly with party games. It's really easy to show off a party game and that instant hook as to what's there. So things like Q's and Q's and ransom notes and things have been really easy, as well as a whole bunch of two-player experiences. We have more people because we have a play space for people to come in during the day to play games. A lot of couples are coming in on their day off together, and then they come and try that
cool.
game. So things like Lord of the Rings, Duel for Middle Earth, other stuff like Fox in the Forest that have been around for years, they have always been really, really popular here and have just got more and more popular because I think people realize during the pandemic as well, oh, I'm stuck with this person, maybe we should find something to do together. And oh, we both do like games. This is a fantastic way to add you.
Oh, that's funny.
As well as tie-in games. I was not expecting things like Stardew Valley or Dead Cells or Slay the Spire, which are big computer games,
do you want to tell
go
us
so well. Yep. Alex.
He's got to stop him. He's got the store. He's like managing the store too. He's trying to do interviews. He's trying to manage. He's got too many things.
Too many things. But yeah, those tie-in games are fantastically well mechanically balanced.
Yeah.
And I was expecting all tie-in games. You know, you see a Star Wars Monopoly, and you're like, well, that's not going to have any real mechanics difference. But any of these ones that are tied into those things have actually had a huge amount of mechanical work on it to make it feel like the game without just being a cardboard version of it. That shocked me as those being fantastic games, ones that I want to play again and again.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's been really good.
That's cool. One more question before we get a little tour here. So, I mean, geez, 2 years, less than 2 years or about two. When's the anniversary? When did you open exactly?
Oh, so May. So it's just over 2 years. 2 years and a month. Basically.
2 years and a month. What's next? Do you have anything on the horizon? Like anything you're really excited about? Like, I mean, geez, I don't want to put you on the spot because you've already done so much. You've got all that you were telling me earlier, and you've said a little bit, all the different nights you're doing. Yeah. And I know it's a tiring thing anyway, but any things you're excited about thinking, wow, there's something else I'm excited about doing.
So, yeah, of course. I mean, personally, being in the back end of game design and saying that there are lots of game designers here, I have recently opened a not-for-profit co-working space for board game design and designers to work in a space together. And we have, as in last month, we opened this up, so it's very fresh. But we have people working in there every day, and we have playtest nights and prototyping nights for that. 3D printers set up for people to prototype their components, spaces for people to do slightly larger board game-focused events, like a mega game that we've got coming up soon, as well as some kind of larger war games tournaments and things. So for me, that new place has been really exciting.
That is awesome.
And that means
wow. Okay, cool. All right, so we've been sitting and talking for a while. I really want to show everyone that's watching online and people that'll tune in later a little bit of a peek into Ancient Robot, like a nice little tour for those that live nearby and maybe haven't gotten a chance to come in yet, but also people that might visit the city and get a motivation to come in. Would you mind giving us a little bit of a tour?
Of course, no problem.
Okay, cool. Let's do that. I'm gonna follow me, people. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna follow Dougal around. I'm just gonna try and kind of aim this at Dougal. Hopefully this will work.
I have been aimed at. I can see the little sniper on the set. Fantastic. So, yes, games pretty much everywhere. We have our table filled with new releases usually, as well as some of the smaller box stuff that we can show off. Over on this side of the shop as well, we kind of go slightly different than a lot of board game shops do, just because it makes it a bit easier for us and other people to find stuff. An A to Z for most games, as far as we can find, with lots of different things here. As well as a lot of independently made games. We actually go out of our way to get independent distributors for a lot of things as well. Instead of just going to big companies, it's really nice to be able to pay the person who has made the game to get their game in. Over here, we have a whole bunch of co-op games, as well as our party games and kids games too, and some of the big box games and our two-player games on this side of the shop. We have regular play spaces with all the tables that we have out, as well as our large board games library, which is over on my side. There's our staff as well, who are the best staff, by the way, waving at us. They're delightful. Yes, so we have the tables for people to play at all times, our board games library, and if you follow me around here, we have a coffee machine which keeps me alive. It is 100% necessary to work in board games, I think, to have coffee at all times. We also have cakes and a few drinks and things like that as well. And this is our board games library, which is available for people to play all the time. And then we get further into another wonderful joy of everyone in the shops, really, which is our RPGs and a lot of independent-made RPGs, as well as our kind of smaller zine RPGs that we have as well, often made by local people, as well as our miniatures with paints, other miniature gaming as well, a lot of Games Workshop stuff, but a lot of independent things as well, things like Carnivale, Moonstone, big fans of Moonstone, Malifaux, all sorts of things. So really, it's a bit of everything. We have a lot of dice here as well. Everybody loves little math rocks, and we try and get as many locally sourced as possible as well, because there's a lot of resin dice makers in the States to show stuff off. That's basically the store. We pack it as full as possible, and if I had 3 times the amount of space, I'd probably still pack it as full as possible. And if you know anyone who has any more space right next to us, and I can break down the wall, that would be amazing. Yeah, that's the shop.
That's cool. Would you mind showing us outside really quick too,
Of
just
course,
so
yeah,
they can see where they are?
Fantastic. So this is the bottom of Leith Walk, which is a little bit outside the centre of the city, but it is a direct tram ride away, which is only 5 minutes from the centre. This used to be an old train station back in the late 1800s. But is now completely filled with independent shops. Some of our amazing neighbours, Logan and Malik, a fantastic gift shop. Argonaut Books, the bookshop which I used to work at and is still the best bookshop in the city. Crema, well known as some of the best cakes in the city as well. And then if you look up this way, you can see all the rest of Leith Walk, if you can still hear me in the wind. Edinburgh is well known for its wind. There is an awful lot of it. But this goes all the way up to the centre of the city and eventually ends at the Royal Mile, which is where the castle is. This has become a little haven for independent businesses, which means that it has become, yeah, a true joy to actually have a shop here. Not as crazy stressful as I imagine it would be in the centre of the shopping district of town, but yeah, really, really nice.
That's cool. All right. Well, thanks, Dougal. We're gonna say bye to Dougal, and I'm gonna go inside and give an update on the rest of stuff for Whiskey Wednesday.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you so
You
much.
can give me that one. We
I'll
can
give
turn
you
that off.
Turn that off.
Perfect. Does it work? Is it off?
It's off.
Perfect.
Lovely seeing you all.
All
Hope you have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Dougal. All right. Let's do this. We're gonna go inside. We're gonna see how this works here. I think I'm gonna actually to try and get quiet in here. I'm going to take my water, and I had them. I was like, where's a quiet spot to go? Because they said, well, the game night is going to start soon. It's going to be pretty loud. Maybe you should the quietest place would be the bathroom. So I said, okay, well, I guess I could go in the bathroom. So I think the bathroom, let's see if the bathroom's open. Oh, can I okay. All right. Hey, Dougal, is it okay? I can use the bathroom?
Go for it.
All right.
Control of the bathroom.
I'm going to use the bathroom for a while.
Locking you in.
Lock me in. Do I lock it from the inside? I think I do. All right. All right. It's going to be a little echoey, people. All right. That's it. I'm going to be in the bathroom. I'm doing Whiskey Wednesday from the bathroom, people. Where's my thing? Okay, there. There it is. I'm getting used to this. All right. Oh, it's cool, though. Ooh, look at the robots. Oh, that's funny. See that? Robot plunger and more robots. Robots cleaning. Robots everywhere. Okay, let's do this, folks. How are we doing? Feel free to make some comments here. I might be able to see them as well. A little echoey, but that's okay. It's Dave. It's Whiskey Wednesday. Oh, now I missed you all. I lost you. Now I need to turn you on again. Okay, there we go. My screen keeps turning off. All right, let's see. Lots of updates. Oh my gosh. First, some luthier stuff. So my luthier updates. Of course, first I want to talk about what we've got delivered. UK, you know you're already delivered. You know that. Australia and New Zealand, you actually are getting delivered, I think right now. You probably got some notifications via email. So hopefully you did. Hopefully you did. Also, if you're at PlayCon this coming weekend, I think you have the option to do pickup. So hopefully that's the case as well. Perhaps, maybe you can pick that up at PlayCon this weekend with Board Game Barbecue, which would be awesome if that's the case. I'm going to get a drink here real quick. So that would be really cool. I love my friends at Board Game Barbecue, and if there's a chance for you to pick up luthier there, that would be pretty sweet for sure. So that's one thing. I'm going to pan around again so people can see my robot artwork, even though that'll make my arm tired. No, is there more? Is there more robot artwork? Well, there's another guy there as well. Man, it's everywhere. So then there's that. Canada and Europe. First off, let's talk about Europe. Europe is probably still going to be August, most likely. Remember, your stuff is still on a boat. We're waiting on your stuff to be delivered. So that's coming along nicely. Let's see if I can even, I can prop this. Look at this. This is great. I'm just going to prop it because then I can actually respond to stuff as well. Perfect. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. Trying to get this set up. I know. I'm giving you a Pret advertisement from a water bottle. All right. I don't get to have the robot background, but that's okay because now I can stretch out a little bit. Get into scene and talk. Okay, where was I? Europe, on a boat still, likely arriving sometime in August. You all have the tracking info, so hopefully you have been tracking that. I will also, of course, give you that info soon as well, so to be able to keep you updated on that too. So that's Europe. Canada, you are also getting stuff delivered probably sometime, as far as the boat getting to Canada, sometime in mid to late July. So that should be coming along too. And the States has already been delivered to the States as far as the boat. It is on a train somewhere. Once it gets to the States, it's a little harder for me to track, but it should be on a train. I would think it's going to get to the Michigan facility somewhat soon, get to Chicago and then get delivered to the Michigan facility somewhat soon. I would think within the next week or so. I will, of course, be giving you all some updates on that very soon. So kind of keep an eye on social media as well as Kickstarter updates for that. There will be a fairly big luthier announcement next week. I'm actually going to be doing a special Whiskey Wednesday next week as well. So please keep an eye out for that. I'm not going to give you much more beyond that, but just keep an eye out. There's going to be some big announcements next week. Kind of putting stuff out there and giving some clarification on things about delivery and everything else next week. So keep an eye out. Mark your calendars if you do want to plan to do watch this. There will be a Whiskey Wednesday normal time next week. I'm going to stay up late here to be able to do one at 5 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. British time next week. And we'll be doing a big luthier announcement next week. It's not going to be anything about a future anything. It's more just to clarify things for things like Gen Con and things like delivery for fulfillment and everything else. It'll be for all of our current backers and their games. So keep an eye out for next week for that. Bottles, this is going on to the cocktails campaign. Do not forget, everybody, that there is a voting right now for the cocktail bottles. So we already have, of course, the Dodo for Africa and Middle East. We've got the Still for Americas. And right now, what do we have? We have the Seahorse, the Snake, the Coconut, and the Samurai that are being voted on right now on Facebook and Discord. So get over to one of those and vote on your favorite. It is actually a pretty tight race between all four of those, especially over on Facebook, I think. I think Discord's a pretty clear winner right now, unless someone jumps into one of those and votes differently. So be sure to get over there and vote on one of those. If whatever it wins is going to be a featured bottle that Eric illustrates for the cocktails expansion. So figure out which one you want to do over there. So again, that is going on. Go vote now. That is going to be, the voting is going to be done on Sunday. So that is for Luthier update and actually, I guess, cocktails updates too. So that's a big one there. Water is important. I better move this over so I can show people the robot stuff again, because everyone loves to see the robots. Robot, there's the robot. Robot plunger, cleaning your toilets. And where else? Where's the other one? That guy. Is there another one? There's another one, wasn't there? Oh, this guy's cool too. Look at this guy holding the paper towel holder. That guy's cool. He's not a robot, but he's cool. Wow, this place is awesome. This thing's cool. Man, there's just, oh, these guys, look at these guys. Look at these guys down there. Look at those guys. All right, more robot. Okay, that was your robot break. Back to Dave. Sorry, I know Dave's not as cool as the robots, but there you go. Okay. Back to more updates. Let's talk Gen Con. There's some Gen Con updates. I'll probably talk more Gen Con stuff as we get closer, but I do want to talk about a couple Gen Con things. This is going to be our biggest Gen Con yet, people. Hands down, like without a doubt. Crazy big. And of course, the irony is it's just as tiny a booth as ever. Gen Con continues to want to give us the tiniest booth we can possibly occupy in the worst place we can possibly have, which is in the very back of the hall. I shouldn't say worst. We're going to embrace it. It actually technically gives us a lot of space because it's in the very back of the hall, facing the back wall. And what that means is there's a lot of space for when we have the massive crowds, because we're so popular and we're so awesome, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, Fantasy Games, you're amazing. Then the crowds will all be around us and we have room to breathe, and everyone can like stack up 10 deep, because you know that's what it's going to be like, because we're so amazing. So when that happens in the back, maybe that's why they put us back there. I don't know. I don't know why they put us back there. But regardless, we are in the very back of the hall again. We are in a tiny 10 by 10 booth again, but we have massive luthier to sell, hopefully if all goes well. And we have tons of games to show off in the Paverson HQ. We have an amazing group that is going to be running those games as well. And what games are we running? Well, of course, we're running Luthier. We're going to run a ton of games of Luthier. We've got some amazing folks that are helping out running that. We're going to be running 3 games at a time, the entire convention, all sold out. All 50 plus events of ours are sold out, by the way, sold out within the first few days. We, of course, have Distilled Cocktails expansion. The prototypes are being made by What's over in China right now, and those will be on being played as well. Those will be run as well and be played throughout the convention too. So you'll get a chance to have a sneak peek of that. Even if you're not getting a chance to play it, you'll be able to see it and see it for yourself before it goes on Kickstarter later this fall. So we're really excited about that. We, of course, have Class of '89, which is going to be released next year, straight to pre-order and retail. We are not doing a crowdfunding campaign for Class of '89. That is in full prototype form. That is also going to be able to be played, and you'll be able to see that if you didn't get a seat and watch that be played as well. And then we have an unannounced game, a game that we're calling Project Americano, because we name each of our games after a cocktail in alphabetical order. And Project Americano actually will be announced at Gen Con. We will announce the name of the game. We will announce that we'll reveal the cover of the box art of the game. We will announce the designer and the artist of the game all at Gen Con. Hopefully at a specific time where we will reveal all that. Fingers crossed we might have the artist and the designer there present to do all that at a timed event. We're working on that, so look for that as well. Very excited to be able to do that. But of course the prototype, full prototype, will be playable. You'll get to see that as well. So you'll get to do that. Just as we always do with Paverson Games, we believe very strongly in that concept of letting you all play the game far before it is ready to be published, because we want your input, we want your feedback, we want you to be a part of that process. That's a big part of our mission and what we believe in as a company. So we'll be doing that. Well, of course, that's all happening at the HQ, which is where all the games happen. our booth is so small, we actually can't play games at our booth. It is, I'm not joking, actually, it is just about 2 times the size of this bathroom, our booth. I'm not actually not kidding at all. Actually, this bathroom is about half the size of the booth. Oh my gosh, it's so sad. Anyway, at the booth, smiling face, Dave. At the booth, we will be selling stuff as well as demoing a little bit. And at the booth, of course, we'll have luthier, hopefully to sell. We'll have distilled to sell. We will also have other things like these new cool Paverson Games t-shirts that are gold with a little sparkle. So if you like a little sparkle in your shirt, it's got a little bit of that. We'll be selling luthier shirts as well. We, of course, will be selling the games. We're also going to have some cool laser cut pins. Some of you might have seen those luthier pins. We're also participating in the Pin Bazaar this year. If any of you are aware of the Pin Bazaar, that is something Gen Con does every year. We, Faverson Games, are participating in that. We will have a little violin, not the tiniest violin, but it is a pretty tiny violin, that we will be participating in as well. So if you are one that likes to collect enamel pins, know that you will be able to have that, get that as well. So that's another thing that you can get at our booth. Of course, I'm going to be there the whole time at the booth or at HQ, so you can find me, meet me, give me a high five or a fist bump. I would love to meet you. Would love to, if you are someone that likes to have things signed, I'm happy to sign things, but I'd love to just meet you as well. Always love meeting our community. But also I want to let you know that Abe Burson, co-designer of Luthier, will be there as well. He's going to be there for a little bit on Friday and Saturday. We're going to advertise those times. So for a little meet and greet, if you want to be able to meet Abe as well, have maybe Luthier signed by both of us or have Distilled signed by me, there'll be some specific times that you'll be able to catch both of us there that we'll advertise too. So you'll be able to swing by the booth. So keep an eye out for those times as well. That'll be happening too. Finally, I did want to let you all know for the Gen Con attendees, we will have some specials. So if you're someone that would be planning on maybe purchasing some stuff, knowing that you're going to probably be saving some money if you do get some more things. So you might end up getting things like a free t-shirt or a free promo pack or a free baton, depending on how much you're spending. So that's exciting stuff. The other thing I do want to warn you all about, especially those that are planning to get some of these things surrounding Luthier specifically, is because we have such a small booth, we can't stock much stuff in the booth. I have to pay for stock storage off the show floor, and I'm not allowed to touch it during the con or during the day. And so what happens is I can only store a little bit of stuff in the booth itself. And when I sell out of that in the morning, let's just say everything goes well and it sells out. Then what happens once I sell out is I'm sold out for the day. And then I can't sell anymore until the next day when I restock that night. So if you're someone that wants to be sure to get something, I would highly recommend that you plan to go to the booth the very first thing you do, just to ensure that you are able to get the things, because I'm only able to bring so much with me, and I'm only able to stock so much each day. So again, just something I wanted to put out there for those that are planning to come to Gen Con to grab some stuff, whether that be a t-shirt or whether that be a pin, an enamel pin, those things, of course, you're only going to be able to get at con, not even at the website, or whether that be Luthier as well, since we'll only have a limited supply of those things there. So I just wanted to mention that stuff too. I want to thank you all again. I better give one more robot peek, because I know you don't really care about me, but you just want to see those cool robots again. Oh, look at that robot. Look at that robot. Okay, these cigarette robots, pretty cool. Look at them do. Whoops, oops. All right, this phone really screws me up. There it is. Look at him doing the work. That robot's doing the hard work, smoking cigarettes. There it is, those robots. Okay. So that's about it. I think I've been occupying this restroom for too long. I better get out of here and I'll say bye from outside. That's it. Well, it's actually kind of quiet. Well, it's really quiet out here. There's like nobody out here. Wait a minute.
We got rid of them all.
Wait a minute. I've been hiding in the bathroom the whole time, and now there's actually no one here. There's no one here. This whole time I've been in the bathroom. Okay, well, I think they're about to start their big game night, though, because I think at 7 o'clock, see, they've cleared all the tables away. So it's Yeah, or they've cleared all the games out. They transformed because they've got their big game night, and Dougal said that they've already booked up all 25 seats for game night tonight. So they're already booked up. I think that's going to be it for me. Nope, and you all went away already. So let's see if I can go away. There we go. And I think that's it. So I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say good night or good afternoon, good evening and good night to all you over in the States as well. Like I said, I'll probably tune in next week and see some of you also. Thanks to my States friends for tuning in the middle of the day. And again, thanks for all your support, everybody. So thank you to Dougal as well for letting me crash Ancient Robot Games today too. And we'll see you either at Gen Con or next time. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.